During the last couple of months, AI robots have been developing like crazy, and today we need to talk about one of the most insane things that is currently going on and isn't getting enough coverage. I am talking about Disney's AI robots. At the IROS conference in Detroit, Disney Research showcased their newest creation, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's a small child-sized robot that doesn't just walk. It emotes while moving, almost like a Disney animation in real life. This one you're seeing on screen is very, very emotional, and it has its own sense of character and adventure and wonder. Now, it could be the blueprint for an R2-D2 kind of robot, but the point is that Disney seems to be ahead of some of the major players in the AI space when it comes to creating advanced robots that do look pretty well. Now, the reason Disney's robot managed to come across my radar and some of the frequent viewers in the artificial intelligence space is because this new robot is utilizing an advanced new technology. It is entirely 3D printed and was developed in less than a year. One thing that gave the team a major boost in their development speed was their approach. They went for off-the-shelf actuators combined with 3D printed parts. This means they could tweak, modify, or replace parts much faster than with traditional manufacturing methods. But that's not all. To speed up the design and testing phase, they also employed computer simulations and a method called reinforcement learning. With the help of simulations and reinforcement learning, Disney Research can train the robot's AI to move seamlessly in various real-world scenarios, like slippery or uneven terrain without ever breaking character. The robot can train and retrain its motions, adapting to slight changes like how its motors work, how its weight is distributed, or even how it interacts with the ground. Ruben Grandia, an associate research scientist at Disney Research, pointed out that traditionally many of these motion transitions have to be programmed manually, but with their current system, by simulating every possible scenario and making slight adjustments, the robot learns these transitions on its own. It's like teaching a robot to learn from its experiences and then apply that knowledge in real-time situations. Disney has not confirmed yet whether or not park guests will see this robot at their parks in the future, but I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't just develop this just to show off the technology that they're developing. Now, the new Disney robot, the reason why this is so insane is because it's not to be confused with some of Disney's other robots. You see, there are two kinds of robots that Disney currently employs in its theme parks. We have, of course, the first one, which is the animatronics. Now, animatronics are primarily used for entertainment purposes. Especially in theme parks, movies, and television, their movements and actions are usually pre-programmed or remotely controlled. Whereas with humanoid robots like Disney's new one, they possess artificial intelligence, allowing them to process data, learn from experience, and ultimately adapt to new situations. They could also respond to changes in their environment and can often be trained or reprogrammed for different tasks. Animatronics, in terms of their complexity and design, often are quite realistic in terms of their aesthetics. But since they are designed to look like and move like the real creatures or characters, their internal mechanisms are usually relatively simple, whilst these new kind of AI humanoid robots have the capacity for steeper learning and more complex interactions. Another interesting thing that Disney has managed to do is they've actually managed to get these robots to move effectively. Now, one other company that many people do know that has managed to make their robots move very effectively is, of course, the company Boston Dynamics. You see, Boston Dynamics is world-renowned in robotics industry. One of their main projects is Atlas. Boston Dynamics recently developed Atlas, and it's pretty insane when we look at the movement capabilities that Atlas is able to perform. Atlas was first showcased on YouTube, where it went completely viral for doing many different stunts inside a controlled environment. One of the first stunts that Atlas managed to pull off was being able to walk around on a snowy terrain. And in the video, which boasts over 40 million views, you can see Atlas picking up packages which are extremely heavy. An even crazier thing, you can also see it reacting to adversarial disturbance, which essentially just means that when people move the objects in the environment, Atlas realizes this and, of course, due to its nifty programming, it's able to relocate whatever object it was supposed to pick up and go ahead and pick that object up. So essentially, the reason this Disney robot is actually starting to pick up steam is because people are starting to realize that Disney's robotics, if combined with AI, could present a very new wave of advanced AI robotics. Now, of course, Boston Dynamics is to be miles ahead in terms of what Disney is doing, but if we do manage to fast forward a couple of years, it won't be surprising if Disney does have some of the most advanced robots that we've ever seen. Maybe some robots even better than the ones at Boston Dynamics. What Disney has highlighted with their new robot is a perfect blend. a robot that effectively communicates emotions without compromising its functionality. This approach might just be the blueprint for the future of robotics, where robots don't just perform tasks, but also engage with us on a more personal, emotive level. Here's an old video recorded at Disney's robotics research facility. It was uploaded on YouTube 4 years ago, which is an evidence that Disney has been working on robot technology for quite a while now. Now here, I know you'd be thinking that they're just throwing the robot about, but it sticks the landing every single time. And I think in the near future, it's going to be able to stick the landing completely where it's not going to need this kind of box. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but it is really, really interesting. Disney already has this Spider-Man robot that performs jumps across their theme parks. It's really wild to watch. And then there's Judy, another Disney robot that's been showcased doing a mix of acrobatic feats. People got a glimpse of her moves and her walking skills at a recent Disney conference. So now I'm just thinking, if this is what they're pulling off now, can you imagine where they might be a few years down the line? It is very surprising that an entertainment company has such an advanced AI and robotics division, to which they're competing with some of the other major AI companies. One of the things that we've seen in the recent months and years is that other companies are trying to get their piece of the pie in terms of the robotics industry. We know that robotics industry in the future might even be worth trillions, so the shift is starting to have companies poise their focus towards humanoid robots. Many different companies are taking their robot development in many different ways. Some are using it for commercial applications, while others are building these robots for entertainment purposes. Some of the companies that we do know, like Tesla, have already debuted their robots at conferences, and they've actually shown us in recent updates that they're quite promising in terms of the early results. And there are many other companies that are lining up to release their humanoid robots in the near future. The only problem that many of these companies do face is, of course, reliability. If some of these AI robots that do have their own autonomous behavior manage to make a severe mistake, the lawsuit floodgates could open up, and that is one thing that these companies aren't going to be fond of. Right now, every company is trying to get into the race of becoming the market leader of robotics industry, and the industry is still very young to predict anything for certain. So we'll just have to wait and see how things go in the world of robots. We have no idea where things will go from here, but one thing is certain: this industry will see evolve with a fast pace. Just as we saw the mobile phone industry completely revolutionize in the past 20 years, same will be case with robotics industry. With companies like Tesla and Disney stepping into this industry, who knows where we'd be standing in the next 20 years. Hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again next week with another amazing video.